Imagine you belong to a family of fearless giant werewolves, but when you get under the full moon, you turn into a poodle. Freddy is a naive kid who seems to be running away from a deadly pack of wolves. But in reality, these wolves are Freddy's family. His whole family is a hidden species of werewolves. They get out in the darkness of night and help those in danger. Today, Freddy's dad, Flashheart, and his uncles are here to save people from a house on fire. Freddy used their family's moonstone to track his dad and wants to aid in the rescue mission. Flashheart advises him to wait till he can turn into a werewolf, but Freddy still insists on staying beside him. These wolves are kind and considerate towards humans, but hate man's best friend, dogs. Wolves and dogs have been enemies for centuries and can't even stand each other for a second. After the rescue mission, Flashheart was returning home with his son when they got spotted by an ice cream truck driver named Foxwell Crip. He is left in shock after seeing a kid carried away by a wolf. Despite being scared, Crip's mind isn't letting him leave the boy in danger. He gets out of the truck trembling and looks for the kid in the forest. He eventually finds Freddy, but gets terrified on seeing the giant Flashheart. Crip starts to walk backward and slips off a cliff. Flashheart tries to help him, but in this attempt, he falls off the cliff by himself. Freddy's uncle Hotspur takes away the kid immediately from the scene, but in a hurry they accidentally leave the moonstone behind. The wolves tried to find Flashheart but failed, so they declared him dead and arranged his funeral. Freddy still cannot accept the reality. His mother left him when he was just a baby, and now his father is gone too. However, he must stay brave as he will soon become the pack's leader, who is called High Howler. Till then, Hotspur will serve as the leader. 6 years pass by and Freddy is a young man already. His family is really delighted to be finally able to see him turning into a wolf. They arrange a huge ceremony and invite all the relatives. Freddy is nervous and excited at the same time. He may be the son of the fearless Flashheart, but he does not have a strong physique like him. That's why a few family members like Hotspur don't believe that Freddy can be the High Howler. But their elder Lord Hightail believes in Freddy. Moreover, Hotspur failed to do the biggest task of High Howler and couldn't bring back the moonstone from Crip. The normal-looking ice cream guy has installed wolf-detecting cameras and guns that shoot silver dust. Silver is the only weakness werewolves have. As the night sets in, the ceremony starts with some music. Then all the family members step in the moonlight one by one. They turn into wolves and howl in pride. Then they invite Freddy to do the same. Freddy starts feeling uneasy as his body tries to take a new shape. Instead of making others proud, he leaves everyone in shock and disguise because Freddy has turned into a white poodle dog. Hotspur calls it a curse of losing the moonstone. The werewolves can't accept being led by a dog and want to banish Freddy out of the family. Freddy begs for mercy and promises to prove himself as a wolf. Lord Hightail gives him the last chance. He has to prove that he is 100% wolf before the next moonrise. Otherwise, he will be banished forever. Hotspur and other wolves go out to rescue the world while the poor Freddy is shut in his room, waiting for a miracle. Hotspur's kids come to make fun of Freddy's failure. They take him to the storeroom and dye his hair pink. They also put a collar around his neck. Freddy gets really angry and runs away after locking the kids in the storeroom. Freddy stands in front of his father's picture and wonders what he can do to prove himself as a true leader. Suddenly, he remembers about the moonstone. If he brings it back, the curse will be removed and everything will be normal again. Freddy jumps off the house fence and lands inside a truck that takes him to the city. He suddenly sees a kitten and can't control his dog's instincts. He jumps out to attack the kitten but ends up being stuck in the middle of the road. Luckily, he is saved by a female dog named Batty. She offers to take care of him, considering him a newbie in town, but Freddy feels it an insult being guarded by a dog. But as soon as he tries to move on by himself, he realizes the danger and rushes back to Batty. Despite being a small dog, Batty is quite fierce and strong. She takes down 2 giant dog catchers all by herself. Freddy is impressed and requests her to help him get the moonstone, and in exchange he'll give her all the meat she can ever desire. Batty agrees immediately. She also suggests that Freddy should learn how to be a real dog and fight against the enemies. She trains him for hours, and Freddy starts to like his new form. Suddenly, they see the werewolves rescuing people, and Batty warns Freddy to stay away from them. She says wolves are monsters in disguise who sacrifice puppies to moon gods and sleep in coffins. Freddy can't believe the misconception about his family, but he can't clear them right now. He needs Batty's trust to complete his mission. She takes him to Crip's place but doesn't dare to follow him inside. Freddy finds the moonstone, but it turns out to be fake. Crip is alerted of his arrival and catches him immediately. He ties him up and runs several tests to find if Freddy has any connections with the wolf. Actually, Crip isn't a bad guy. He just wants to avenge the werewolves because he assumes that Freddy is eaten away by a wolf. He notices the silver collar around the poodle's neck and tries to zoom in. Before he can succeed, Batty attacks him. She came back to help her friend. Together with her, Freddy runs out of the building with the real moonstone. After reaching a safe place, Batty reminds Freddy about their deal of giving her the meat. Freddy doesn't know how to explain his family situation, so he stays quiet. Batty assumes that she has been deceived and returns to her own house. It's an old cardboard box. Batty used to live in a dog shelter, and every day she wished to be picked by a customer. But that day never came. Eventually, the shelter owner threw Batty outside, and she spent her life as a stray dog. Freddy feels sorry for her and tells her that he has also been banished from his family. They were all big and strong, while he was naive and useless. Batty comforts him and tells him that it doesn't matter how he looks from the outside. The actual worth lies within a person. While the dogs were sharing their stories, 2 dog catchers caught them and took them to the creepy Colfax dog pound. It's run by a rude and insensitive lady who calls herself Commander. She orders to send Freddy and Batty through the salon that cleans them brutally. Afterwards, they are locked in with other dogs. Luckily, they turn out to be Batty's old friends, Twitchy, Bruno, and Hamish. They don't like being here either, but they have tried every way to escape but failed. However, Freddy believes in Batty and gives her some time to figure out a way. They must hurry because the commander has prepared a dangerous machine for them. It is designed to transform dogs into hair wigs. She sends the blueprints to her business partner, who is no other than Hotspur. He has been working on this project to get rid of all the dogs permanently. While scrolling through the dog's pictures, Hotspur finds that Freddy is caught by the Colfax too. He rushes to the company and requests to meet Freddy. The poor boy gets really excited and shows his uncle that he brought back the moonstone. Hotspur takes the stone, but he still believes Freddy is an insult to the werewolves, so he leaves him behind. Poor Freddy realizes that his family doesn't want him anymore and returns to his cage. Batty asks for an explanation, and Freddy finally confesses that he's a werewolf who surprisingly became a poodle. Batty doesn't like the fact that Freddy kept his identity hidden and calls him a liar. She believes his family left him because of his selfish behavior. Freddy has lost both his family and his friends, but someone still cares for him. It's their housekeeper, Mrs. Muffins. She asks Hotspur about Freddy, but the cruel man keeps lying to her. Fortunately, she sees Freddy on the computer in Hotspur's car and rushes to save her beloved boy. Meanwhile, Freddy and his mates are still looking for a way to escape the prison. When the staff gives them a bone to eat, Batty uses it to block the cage door. She requests Twitchy to get out and unlock the door as she's the smallest. Twitchy does as instructed, but she can't see all the colors and presses the wrong button. The commander comes over to inquire who tried to escape. They were about to catch Twitchy, but Freddy takes all the blame. Moreover, he pees all over the lady's expensive clothes, so Commander orders to throw him inside the beast dungeon. Freddy is trembling with fear as he waits for the beast to eat him. Little does he know the beast is no other than Flashheart. Freddy excitedly greets him and calls him Dad. Flashheart is doubtful at first, but then recognizes his son. Flashheart was caught by the Colfax dog catchers and was brought here. Hotspur had found him, but he didn't help. Instead, he put a silver bracelet on Flashheart so he couldn't turn into a human again, and Hotspur can be the High Howler. No one could imagine that a family member could deceive them so ugly. Meanwhile, Batty and the other dogs realize that Freddy never intended to harm them, so they should also help him. They break through the air vent and reach the dungeon. The innocent dogs assume that Flashheart is attacking Freddy, so they start fighting with the beast. Freddy gets between them and explains the whole truth. If they want to save themselves, they must work together. Hotspur has the control button to the dog-crushing machine, so first of all they must stop him. Flashheart agrees and leads the dogs through the air tunnel. It's blocked by a huge exhaust fan, and on the other side is the filthy commander. Luckily, Mrs. Muffins reaches there and handles the commander. Flashheart and the dogs escape the building, while Twitchy is left behind. She may be little, but her attacks are stronger than a beast. As soon as Freddy gets under the sunlight, he turns back into a human, but a naked one. He grabs some random clothes and rushes towards his home. Lord Hightail officially announces Hotspur as the High Howler because Freddy failed to prove himself as 100% wolf. Hotspur celebrates his achievement and shows everyone the dog-crushing machine. He will erase their so-called enemies from the globe forever. Before he can press the button, Freddy stops him. He also brought his dad, who exposes the real face of Hotspur in front of everyone. Before Lord Hightail can take any action, they get attacked by Crip, who shoots the wolves with silver dust. Freddy requests the dogs to protect his dad while he stops Hotspur. The evil wolf gets back the machine control and turns it on. But Mrs. Muffins has already opened all the cages and the dogs run away. Only Twitchy gets swallowed by the machine, but she aggressively chews off the wiring and destroys the whole machine. After his plan fails, Hotspur decides to take out his frustration on Freddy and follows him to the roof. The rest of the wolves, standing in the front yard, cheer for Freddy and encourage him to get under the moonlight. Hotspur thinks that the moonstone is rescued, so Freddy will become a wolf too. But the boy turns into a poodle again. However, he's not ashamed of his appearance anymore and calls himself a werepoodle. Saying this, he howls with all his might and makes Hotspur fall off the roof. A few days later, the Coldfax is sealed and its owner is under police custody. The misunderstandings between the dogs and wolves have been resolved and they interact peacefully. Freddy fulfills his promise and offers Batty a lot of meat to eat and a new house to live in. It doesn't matter how small or naive you look. The true strength lies within you, and once you get fully determined to do something, no one can stop you.